So my husband's building new nesting boxes for the rabbits because the standard New Zealand boxes, we got a couple rabbits that are too long for them. They just won't use them because they're just not long enough. So we're building some with a couple inches longer, and we're using a very thin wood. This is what was it?
0.19.
So just under a 1/4 inch.
Yeah, about 1/5 of an inch.
Of
This was oak.
oak. This is oak. You sure?
Oak,
Not fir?
Yeah, this was the oak part.
Okay. Because it's light, and I was having trouble with the wooden nesting box that he had built that were 1/2 inch thick.
Yeah.
Because they were just too heavy for my hands with the arthritis and stuff to be hauling them around. So anyway, he did this up. This shows how he's going to do his measurements. So you want to explain?
Okay. So the bottom pieces are 11 by 20, and kind of for 2 of them here, and then 2 of them over here. Try to minimize the waste space. For the back, we got 11 by 10. Got some tops that are 6 by 11. Got the fronts over here are 5 by 11. 4th one's over on the second piece, along with the other bottoms and the rest of the sides.
And then the scrap material here we'll be using to make bottoms for our metal nesting boxes that the other rabbits will use. They'll be replacement bottoms because we do have to replace those every so often. So each one of these pieces of wood is how big?
4 foot by 4 foot.
Okay. So because this they didn't have this particular one in an 8 by 4, so we had to get 2 4 by 4s. So if you could find it like this in an 8 by 4, you could do it all on one piece. All right, so now we need to translate all of this onto the board with measurements. So we'll come back when he's got that all drawn out. Also one thing, when he's doing his measurements, he's also adding a 1/16 of an inch to everything because the saw blade is a 1/16 of an inch, and we want to make sure that we account for that. Otherwise, all the measurements are going to be off just a little bit in the cutting of the wood. But we have, we did account for that because we have an inch extra here in the way, well, right here there's an inch that goes up this line, and then there's at least 2 that go between that one, so we should be just fine in accounting for that as well. Alright, so I have the pieces laid out for one nesting box here. We've got the bottom board, 2 side boards. This is the front piece, the back piece, the top, or I have that backwards?
Backwards. That's the top. That's the front.
Okay, this is the back, the top, the front, and then these pieces we'll be using to do the corners, so we have something to put the screws in. Because of the boards being so thin, we need something for it to bite into. Alright, so we're going to start by putting the 3/4 inch pieces of wood onto the sides.
Need that many. 1 or 100, nothing in between.
And we'll see whether or not he needs to drill pilot holes. You know what a big fan I am of pilot holes, and what a big not fan he is of pilot holes. And we usually always end up drilling pilot holes.
These are self-tappers, so.
Some probably won't need to. No pilot holes. And we're also using 1/2" screws for this.
That'll look pretty good.
Alright, I'll come back when he's done with this side of the board and we'll show the finished part to you. Alright, we got the first side done. We got a support on each end and in the middle. And so it'll be the side of the box, and then he left space here. So when we screw on the bottom, we're not going to be screwing into this screw. We have enough space to screw it in. We'll have enough space to screw it in here without having to worry about hitting this screw. Okay, we got the sides complete, and now we are screwing on the bottom. You gonna tack these corners first before you go down, or you're gonna do the middle?
Yeah, I'm gonna come around there.
I don't think you got that on the end there. Do we need to use a longer screw for the bottom piece? Or did you just miss when you screwed it in?
I think I just didn't get it all the way.
Okay. This is angled. Okay. And that's not flush. This one needs to go down a little more. Okay. Yeah, it's still not in on that end. I don't know. I think we better use longer screws for the end pieces, honey. Alright, so we're switching to 3/4 inch wood screws here. So we'll see how that goes now. He already replaced the one.
I should replace both of these.
Oh, you replaced both of them? Okay.
Yep.
I was having focus issues with my camera, and someone didn't want to wait. And at least now, when he takes these out, what is the snarky comment you made, honey?
They already have pilot holes.
But we will have pilot holes this time. And he did have to use this little thing to make a sort of pilot hole because one of his screws went flying across the room. So this is our ongoing thing. If you haven't seen any of our how to build stuff videos, or how we build stuff, or how we cobble stuff together and it works, no, that's gonna leave a big gap.
I'm taking this.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we have an ongoing thing about pilot holes. I believe in them, he doesn't. And then we end up having to do it anyway. Oh, now that's, we need to come over maybe here.
Yeah.
Okay. It just doesn't want going straight. Okay, there we go. And unfortunately, the wood we got for the connector pieces is poplar. It's not oak, and it is not as good for what we want, but all they had in the square ones were poplar. They only had round dowels in the oak, and that wouldn't have done us any good. All right, so can we flip it over and show the progress? Okay, so that's what it's look like. We just have to attach screws to the middle section to give the bottom more support. We had better lighting in here, but it's better than the lighting in the garage right now. Alright, and we're getting the back on. Where do you want me to hold? Like here?
Oh, I need 2 hands to hold them. I know.
Okay, you do that corner then. And then tilt it the other way. Well, not tilt actually, just move. That's so... It came off at the end. It didn't. Gotta fix it. Here, and pulled back, and I didn't catch it on my end. So, okay, there we go. Again. Okay, now my end is flush right now. We're gonna have to readjust the other side. You're going right into the screw. This screw. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This has to be like. Oh, hold on. Okay, the screw towards the top. All right. Okay. I should be fine with just the 2, you think, or?
I probably better do a 3rd one on each side.
Okay. Yeah, especially since we can't attach the bottom here. Unless we were to put another piece, like one of these in there.
I need those pieces that are left to hold the top on.
Maybe we should do that anyway. Maybe we should get one anyway, because I'm concerned about a rabbit kit getting their foot caught down in that. Alright, and back's in place, front's in place, and we got to cut a piece of wood to fit in that spot back there so that we cover that little crack. We don't want the rabbit kit's foot getting stuck down in there and maybe getting hurt. Alright, so we attached some pieces on the bottom to cover up that crack. And then we got a couple pieces here, and he's going to attach the top now. Okay, and this is not bad for our first attempt. And now we can see whether or not there's any changes we want to make, which we obviously did. We put in that back there, and yeah, I don't think this is tall enough. We could probably even extend the roof piece to here. You know, I was worried about it not being tall enough for the rabbit, but I think it's plenty tall enough for the rabbit. So if we want to, with some of that extra scrap, we could extend it.
Okay.
Okay. And that would give them a little bit more security in their nesting box. All right. So there we go. It's our first home-built nesting box.